Isaia. It's got a kind of an updated new sound to it.
Yeah.
Magic Mike on the ones and twos, and he's giving y'all people the good news. And there's a hurricane, and it's coming our way, and it's got a funky name that's fun to say. Isaia.
Isaiah, coming for the water. Things are about to get a little bit hotter. It's big and it's scary and you better stock up. Get your guns and cop that up. Cause when Isaiah comes rolling through, you're gonna be scared, you won't know what to do. So get the water and get the food, and then smoke a fat blunt and chill out, dude.
Isaia. What's it called? Isaia. While you're sitting at home with your 12 gauge, you decide to check out Mike's weather page. Then you listen to Domo Arigato, and you call up your boy Paul Delgado. You say, yo, Paul, what's coming our way? He say, yo, Drew, I got something to say. This gonna go through you like diarrhea. There's a real bad storm, and it's Isaia.
Oh man, it's crazy, huh? So there we had to play one more time. It's Isaia. That's our storm on 102.5 The Bone, and it says Mike Weathers page, so we can add that to our hurricane lineup of songs by Andy Simmons. Back in the cone again, and now we have Isaia. So, all right, we got a lot to talk about. We're watching satellite here of Tropical Storm Isaia. We're going to go with Isaia because I can hear that. I wanted to play that song so I could say it at least for an hour before I butcher it up. Isaia. So, here's our boys. We'll say hi. We're going to say hi to a few of our peeps, and then we're going to get right into it. Lots to talk about the tropics. Panic levels up a little bit. Shouldn't really be yet. Puerto Rico getting hammered. Virgin Islands getting hammered. Luckily, hopefully they prepared. We had a lot of people chiming in yesterday to me, emailing me that they were batting down the hatches in Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. But getting hit pretty hard. So we're gonna dive into it. Here's the boys, Louie and Hunter. They're saying hi. There's little Hunter. Everybody likes to see the puppy. Puppy's getting a little bigger now. Louie's still chill. All right, let's talk hurricanes. Want to? All right, we're going to talk hurricanes. There's no hurricane to talk about. It's tropical storm. It always get caught up because when we talk about things like hurricane preparedness, it's still a tropical storm. So that's good, right? All right. So, I'm going to try to say hi to everybody. What I usually do here, if you're new to the webpage, we've been doing this a long time, a few years now. I usually ramble on. We're going to talk about all the latest models and maps. We'll get to say hey to everybody toward the end, so I like to get right into it. We got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, big thanks to our Facebook sponsor here. This Facebook Live brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. That's me last year. They did a little promo, Mike's Weather page. So they're here in Florida. Make sure you go check them out this weekend. It's going to be a hurricane party. That's what we got happening with the models flip-flopping. That's what I'm going to show you. I found this little funny meme. Floridians don't run from a hurricane. They run to a hurricane party. Now pour me a drink. And that could be everybody, just not Florida, North Carolina. I got friends up in the Outer Banks that are like, what the hell, Mike? The Navy model, man. The Navy model that everybody said don't listen to might be right. So this is what we're seeing, flip-flopping. So those are the perfect flip-flops for hurricane season. All right, let's take a look at satellite real quick. All right, so obviously a big ball of convection. See, I already got the name screwed up. Isaia is definitely looking a little bit more organized. The biggest question all along was Hispaniola land interaction and what it will do to it. These mountaintops are extremely high, and they can shred a hurricane's center core. What could be happening, the Mona Passage here, and I showed that graphic yesterday, the possibility that we could have this little guy go west-northwest and then a weird little turn through the passage and then go back west-northwest again. And lo and behold, what the hell, man, it's kind of doing it. We've seen a lot of storms over the years somehow find their way through this little passageway. Crazy, I tell you. Crazy. So here we go. All right. Oh, I have this map up. I usually pull a few maps and say, oh, I'll leave that one up. Make sure I show it. So this is your upper level winds. Remember we showed you yesterday a big gap of low steering currents right now. We have high pressure west, high pressure east, and a little weakness here, a little frontal boundary that's kind of opening up a weakness. So that's allowing weak steering currents here, and it's kind of getting pulled up to this gap. How quick the high pressure builds back in has always been the question. How much farther west will it go? So a few of the models of overnight have shifted a little bit to the west, the Euro and the CMC. So it's flip-flopping a little bit. The latest 12Z models came out, and a lot of them are east. And I'm going to show you that. These just came out. So there's the steering pattern. You know that this is a high pressure spinning. So unfortunately for a storm like this, we got to watch things in real time. Here's the latest satellite on weathernerds.org. But definitely looks like it's strengthening. And unfortunately, we talked about it. If it's strengthened below the islands or above the islands, we could see, potential for some big strengthening. So the NHC said they're being very conservative with their 70-mile-an-hour prediction. So when they tell you that they're being conservative, that's kind of giving you the hint, like they know that if this thing survives Hispaniola, then we could be looking at a hurricane impacting Bahamas into possibly Florida, East Coast, or even North Carolina, South Carolina. So there you go. So let me just show you that. We'll stick with the facts. No speculation. We're getting too close right now. We got to look at things in real time. These are your 12Z spaghetti models. They just came out. And cheers to all the cone heads. I got my Louis in the morning. Shooting the gap, Rhonda. Yep. Isaiah. I got to keep saying it so I don't screw it up. Isaiah. What's up, Tina? So, again, Tropical Storm Isaiah, these models just came out. Now look, big shift again to the east. Remember we talked about it yesterday. Don't buy into the flip-flopping until you start to see consistency. Well, starting to see more consistency on this, obviously, shooting the gap and getting to the north. So, could Florida be completely out of the cone come 11 o'clock? I don't think yet, but the trend has definitely been a little bit more to the east. A lot of the models skirting the East Coast. So there you go. There you have it. I'm going to show you all the models, and you guys can think for yourselves. And I'm not calling it Lorenzo, correct? So there's a big little shift there, little shift. So everybody's talking about that shift. Everybody's wondering because of the overnight European. Remember the Euro? All right, we're going to go to Tropical Tidbits. I'm going to show you all the models real quick. We like to look at models. That way you guys can decide for yourselves. So the Euro always was the outlier with this system, always. All the models had it going up towards Florida. Euro was way over here. It had one run yesterday that it actually agreed with everybody and had probably a hurricane over here off the East Coast. Well, guess what it did overnight? It went back to the West Coast. So I'm going to start out with the Euro, then we'll go to all the other ones. This is the latest Euro model, just kind of showing you the thinking. Now, the reason we're showing you all the models now is no matter what strength our system becomes, we're starting to deal with real-time upper air patterns. And a lot of it's going to be this timing of this high pressure building back in. So not only are we looking at the strength of these models, to me it's a little bit more important to see where they think the low pressure is going to be, because that's indication of upper air patterns. Strength, you know how strength goes. Strength is just so hard to predict, especially on a developing system. We saw that with Hannah. So Looking at steering currents, and yes, stronger systems tend to push a little bit more north. Remember that. So if this thing does develop pretty strong, pretty quick, it's going to actually push a little more to the north. So northeast, northwest. So here's your Euro, and there you go. Weak system, West Coast, Florida. The timing on this would be Sunday, and then a turn back over, Gulf Stream, maybe some more action for the East Coast, but it keeps it weak. That's the important thing. So that's the Euro. The CMC does almost the exact same thing. And the afternoon models will be very important. Every model run now becomes more and more important because hurricane hunters are feeding great data. They're in there right now flying. So your CMC down by the Keys on Saturday, and a little stronger West Coast, and then kind of the same path. So CMC, Euro showing that. UK is kind of showing the same thing. It's not on the Levi's site. So there's that. GFS has been the outlier. GFS showing way east movement. Still Bahama threat tomorrow. But the latest GFS did inch it closer to the East Coast. So that's another buzz everybody's talking about. The GFS was way over here overnight in the last couple runs. This is last night overnight run. The one that just ran an hour or so ago now, a little bit closer to the East Coast. So both sides of Florida need to be watching closely, and then the GFS skirts it awfully close here again to the Carolinas. So, it's that all too familiar Dorian, Irma, Matthew, not Irma, Irma too in a sense, but Matthew and most recently Dorian. This one's not going to stall though, so that's good. The Navy model, which is actually probably picked up on this if it does hold true, East Coast, still doing the gloom and doom run here, just skirting the Florida coast as it develops across the Gulf Stream, deepening storm into the Carolinas. And I got a buddy up here, Ricky Carnoodle, if you're listening, we joke about it because he told me days ago, he said, the damn models, the Navy model. And I'm like, don't listen to the Navy model. Now we're looking at the Navy model. So the only thing that concerns me about the model intensity with the Euro, the GFS, and the CMC is that they didn't do very well at all with this. With the Hanna, so we got to watch the development of our system in real time. And currently, right now, it's looking mighty strong. Let's take a look at it real quick, and then we go back to models. So we'll go back to Weather Nerds, but just to show you in real time what we're looking at, this thing, is not looking ragged anymore. It's definitely taking on that ball shape. This is current. Little discussion that it could have shot the gap through the Mona Passage here and redeveloping a little bit stronger. If that's the case, then, we got 2 days of this thing developing now over some pretty, favorable conditions ahead. There is supposed to be shear, yes, but we still, we have a good moisture envelope. Dry air doesn't seem to be as big a factor as it did a couple weeks ago with Gonzalo. So there's a good, pretty good little moisture field surrounding Isaiah. Hey, Miguel. Yeah, the water temps are hot, very potent, plenty hot enough to support a strong hurricane. So there's that front. There's that little weakness here. So we got a weakness here. This is, that came down to the rescue, pulling it up. The question's going to be when does high pressure build back in and push this towards Florida. That's the timing issue. So, all right. So there's the big bad Navy model. The Icon, kind of a newer model, but look, almost exactly the same. This is Saturday down by the Bahamas. Unfortunately for them, they're definitely watching the most here in the short term. The Icon brings it close to Florida, deepens it as she goes, and brings it almost up to the Outer Banks. So that's the Icon. The GFS Para, kind of a newer test model, sticking way to the east. So we have everywhere from Tampa to offshore, and then we definitely have, the Carolinas to be worried about. So all the models are showing the bend. All the models are agreeing on that at least. So here's the latest. H-Wharf. H-Wharf did very well with intensity with the Hanna. So it's a good intensity model in my opinion. Right over the Bahamas here, 990. This is Friday, Saturday. And it gets it awfully close to Florida and brings it up into the Carolinas Sunday. So that one's 980, decent, and it's going to be developing. If it stays over open water, there's little doubt. And then let's go back here. I clicked the wrong button. Hurricane. We got to go to one more model, and then we got to go to the UK, and then we'll look at some other stuff. Isaiah. All right. There's a good one. We'll just leave this one on. This is the rain map. So it's kind of hard to tell. 988 over the Bahamas Saturday morning, and here's Florida. No Florida landfall with the H-Mon. H-Mon brings it up into the Carolinas. So the H-Mon and H4, pretty deepening little system here. So we got 4 or 5 models saying a stronger developing system into the Carolinas. Okay, you have a few that might skirt, but we have enough of them for sure. You got to be watching, for sure. So let's look at the ensembles now. The ensembles are always good to look at. These are found on weathernerds.org. I added some new links to the site, by the way. This Boat US is a great imagery showing you where the current winds are. And they have a good clean image here showing you where the winds might be. So currently the winds are stretching out like 300 plus miles. Here's the latest pass on the Hurricane Hunters, by the way. So they're keeping the center right here. That's pretty low, actually. Some of the models had it going, through eastern Hispaniola, so it could still take that path right across the mountains and really tear it apart. So anyway, there's Hurricane Hunters out there flying around. They're doing a great job. They're dissecting all these little vorticities and what the heck's really happening to our system as it's hanging on to 1,005 millibars, so at least it hasn't dropped pressure too much. But so your ensembles, listen, so all the links too, by the way, if you're new to the site, everything that you need is obviously on my page here. NHC has a great key messages they put out every 6 hours. So if you want all the key points of the system, make sure you read key messages. You have their official chart, you have their discussions, which are great to read, wind charts, timing of winds. Timing of winds is a great map here because you can get an idea of it. So Friday evening, tomorrow night, you can start feeling tropical storm force winds all the way into the Bahamas into Saturday morning. So this is the earliest you could possibly feel tropical storm force winds. So if you got plans to be out on the boat Friday, better get in to shore quick, especially Saturday morning. So that's on there, and the ensembles are a good one here on Weather Nerds. So let's take a look at that. So here's the latest 5-day ensembles from the OOZ Euro. So even though our Euro went to the west coast of Florida, we still have a lot of the ensembles showing you this east coast. So what that means is more evidence that it's going to be awfully close to the east coast, and the Carolinas probably need to be paying attention because our high pressure is starting to build back in and not making a quick exit out to sea that sometimes we see. High pressure going to build back in quick. Been talking about this high pressure forever. The timing of the system with that high pressure. So now it's a race, but unfortunately, Euro showing if it stays over this open water, it's going to have time to develop. So, definitely be paying close attention down the road. All the focus right now, obviously, is Florida, but Carolinas definitely need to be keeping their eyes open. So there's the latest Euro ensembles. The latest GFS ensembles are a little bit more confident of an out to sea, but it's too close to call. GFS still putting Carolina on alert, less into Florida. And then the latest UK ensembles. Ensembles are all a little different thinking. And here's the UK. Pointing up, so. But the UK also has it sticking down here too, going back through Florida. So it could be a double whammy. I mean, it could definitely, we got a unique storm here. Obviously, we've seen this track before. A lot of people are comparing this to Irma, but listen, Irma was already a Category 4 system, over here. This one's not. So it takes time for these to develop that strong. So that's the only good thing that we have right now is it's not that strong, but it will have a day or two. And we saw how quick Hannah could blow up. We saw how quick Dorian blew up. So we got, like I say, these type of systems and what I put the post out earlier, what the the professionals, the ones that know 100 bazillion more than we all do, they are saying things like this. Isaiah is. I feel like I'm singing when I'm talking. Isaiah. Isaiah mixed signals. That was one line. Complex evolution. Further adjustments are going to be possible. Intensity is quite tricky. They note that they are on the conservative side for now. So that's a little worry that they're saying, you know what, this thing gets through Hispaniola and doesn't get torn apart. We got to worry about that, and the intensity models are catching up to that too. So there's your, we're starting to see some more inch up into hurricane strength. So definitely very real possibility. So the west coast of Florida, I mean, it doesn't appear there's a lot of model support, and especially if this thing pops up on the other side of the Dominican Republic. If we do a new center formation up here, but the hurricane hunters are finding center, way down here, so it hasn't happened yet. So this little ball of convection is kind of deciding the future fate on where we're going to see our system pop out on the other side of Hispaniola. So interesting. So Ben, yeah, I would buy plenty of beer and toilet paper. But if you drink a lot of beer, you shouldn't need a lot of toilet paper. Well, Ben shouldn't. Betty might. Hey, Robin, how you doing? Hugo, yeah, we got some. And listen, everybody's confused, I mean, I can joke about it. I was convinced this thing was going to go more west, over a little, well, I mean, not a lot west, but, it looked like last night this thing was going to take a track a little to the west. But it pulled more northwest like they predicted. And again, studying the upper level steering maps, you can see why there was a big gap of steering. Storms have a tendency to go north when there's no blocking high, no steering. It naturally went north, and you can see on the UK, it's showing this high pressure coming back in and pushing a little bit more west northwest. So there's a temporary little wiggle waggle through the Mona Passage, or maybe over Hispaniola, and then we'll see what it does later. And the timing maps are all listed on. Oh, by the way, I got the radar here for Puerto Rico. We're getting a lot of fans live down in Puerto Rico, Virgin Islands, and they've been chiming in how it's been a rough night. A lot of flooding, a lot of storms, a lot of power outages, a lot of flood alerts happening right now down in Puerto Rico. So hopefully this thing gets on out of there. But you can see, distinct banding on radar. Let's look at another radar site. Take a look at it. Hey, Cody, the storm coming behind it, I don't think is anything at all. It's 10% by the NHC, but the storm behind it does not appear to be one to worry about. It looks like it's going to fizzle out. So that's good. I'll show it to you, but so far I'm not too concerned about it. We're in a really negative MJO state, and that's going to suppress activity for a couple weeks. So we're gonna have a little lull. Good news, right? We're gonna have a little lull for 2 weeks or so, maybe. Tropics are tricky. This is Puerto Rico, by the way, we're looking at. Hey, Maria, what's cooking? It's flying. Hey Dale, I saw you watching the Mars mission. So we had a great liftoff today. Congratulations, NASA. Heading to Mars. So there's our banding. Now the radar obviously cuts out here. Great site here on our page too, thanks to Casper and Kay. You might know them. Casper's always helping everybody out. I don't even know if Casper's in here this morning. I'm sure he's lurking behind. But there's a link here between the two radars, the International Meteorology Database. They put together, him and his daughter, and we have all the different links here that you can go to for radars and whatnot. So if it gets close, here's Dominica. there's the weather for the Dominica, but look at that. So pretty cool stuff. If you want to know your individual meteorology locations, they have links to everybody. So that's phenomenal. Good job. Where's Puerto Rico? Obviously, it heads back to us on the NOAA site now. So anyway, yeah, we're on level 7. Not yet, Ellen. This is only July. That's going to happen in September, unfortunately. I have a feeling, oh yeah, heck yeah, Casper. MJO, here you go. Let's, like my Dr. Seuss poem last night. I did that sober. So east side of Bahamas. What about the east side or the north side? Hey, Cindy, the 11 a.m. advisory will be out usually around 10:45, actually, a little bit before 11. We'll have a new track at 11 o'clock, too, by the way. So the NHC only updates their track 6 hours at a time. 8 o'clock advisory is just a fix on speed and position. Yeah, Crystal, so technically it's not going through... so the MJO is a sinking air pattern, by the way, real quick. And it's thought that it really controls activity for tropics and basically Atlantic-style thunderstorm activity. So when we're in a sinking air pattern, and that's a pretty hefty signal of sinking air, we could be, into early August or middle August of little activity. Then it starts to ease up, middle part of August. So, the next couple, week or two, we could have a suppressed MJO pattern, which helps choke Atlantic activity. Now, if you go back to what I'm talking about with this thing out here, it definitely looks impressive on satellite. It's 20%. None of the long-range ensembles are even showing it. So unless there was a Lone Ranger or two, I wouldn't even get too concerned about it. But there you go. Here's your 10-day Euro ensemble map. Almost none show anything. And that's usually where we start to look at. So, of course, I look at a lot more than just one model, but even the GFS is not showing much out of it at all. So there's 10 days. So I wouldn't worry about the one over there. I think we got this little guy to worry about. Isaiah. And then we're gonna have a little break. We deserve a break. I deserve a break. I'm running on Dunkin'. So I had some fine folks at Dunkin' gonna hook me up with some goodies. I had some people from Starbucks mad at me, and I had to explain myself last night. It's a kind of an inside joke with my 3 girls that love Starbucks. So I'm the rebel. So no offense to Starbucks. Trust me, we've spent a ton of money on the way to softball. I think my kids are half cake pop. Vicky, yeah, I'm worried about North Carolina. Honestly, I hope they're preparing up there. Some of these models are showing an intense storm developing. So timing of this high pressure system. We go back to tropical tidbits. I remember it seems like we've been talking about this storm forever, but it's still coming down to this. We have a weakness now. We have high pressure on both sides. The timing of our system. Here's the latest GFS, somewhere right here. High pressure. And what's cool about this site on Tropical Tidbits, it's basically showing you the sinking air and the rising air. So you can start to see as the high pressure starts to build with the oranges. Blue is low pressure. So anyway, low pressures are attracted to low pressure, and high pressures are like force fields. Man, them cake pops too, by the way. What's up, Brandon? Those things that gotta have the most sugar I've ever. Sarah will eat half of one, and I eat they're very moist. All right, so here's the deal. GFS Monday, high pressure really building back in. So here, a little dot right here is where the GFS is saying. But if we go to this exact point in time with the Euro has a lot stronger high pressure. The CMC, kind of a stronger high pressure. This is Monday morning, or Monday afternoon, Tuesday, or Monday morning, Monday afternoon. So we can look at things like this. So let's say the euro is doing a better job with upper air pattern outlooks. Let's say it's sucking right now with Isaiah. So if it does, you can use a combination models and start to say, there's 80% models saying possible strong storm, tropical storm plus developing here, and the euro has an amazing track record of keeping up with upper atmosphere, and all the models are showing this high pressure building back in. So it's when does that door open for this thing to get on out to sea? And if this high pressure remains strong, then early part of the week, unfortunately we could be talking about a North Carolina, even South Carolina needs to be watching close. And again, if you're just tuning in, I mean, the two of the models that did very well and they've been very consistent with this East Coast Florida track, the H-Wharf right off the coast here, Carolina, that would be Monday morning. And the H-Mon also showing East Coast Monday, late night Sunday. And it's not the only one. The Navy model picked up on it early, and it's kind of hanging right there at the exact same spot. Icon, same spot. So as far as being worried, West Coast Florida looks like if you did get it, it'd be more of a rain event, tropical storm event. If Carolina got it, we're talking possible hurricane. And that's obviously brings up the Jumanji factor a little bit more. So, and even the GFS Para brings it awfully close to Carolina. So I'm sure the buzz up there is going to be increased a little bit. Now, looking back. Hey, Bobby, did you see my post this morning, Bobby? I thought of you. I was posting a lot. I got up at 4:30. I'm like, what the hell, man? I'm just going to get up. I'm sitting there wired. I'm like, screw it. I'm getting up. I gotta get up for the 5 o'clock advisory. I made it through 15 minutes of Ozarks. I've been stuck on season 2, the last episode of season 2 now, literally a month. I told you the joke, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I get to the spot that I think that I was at, and I literally crash 5 minutes later. So this morning, I saw a lot of people chatting about the euro. Euro was back weak west. And then I was listening to Pandora, and George Jones came on and said, I stopped loving her today. And I was laughing inside. I'm like, that's kind of how maybe many of the Euro fans have been thinking this season, because the Euro has been like not the best. And I was like thinking that song, and then I posted, I'm turning to Bobby. He stopped loving her today. And then the next song that came on was Hello, Darling. It's like I'm looking at the satellite, and I'm watching the sunshine, the visible satellite, which is so cool to see. If you let me go to the due page. So I always wait for the visible satellite in the morning because it gives you the most resolution with contrast, obviously. And there's my car salesman warranty guy coming in. So we go back 96 hours maybe, or 96 frames. No, that's a long way away. 48 frames. Let's go 48 frames. So this is your overnight. Boom, there's your satellite. So while I was watching this, then Hello, Darling came on. And I'm like, man, I get amused about everything. Hello, darling. It's been a long time. All right, enough of that. So Miami, yes, listen. All right, so anybody, here's the official cone. Seriously. We look at trends. Now that we're within, a couple days, trends are starting to be more believable. We speculate a long way away. One more graphic I wanted to look at while I have my page open. Way down yonder here. When did I showed this one picture. This one. This was posted July 25th. Saturday. 6 days ago. Right? I had 1.5 million. Actually, there's another one had even more. But anyway, look at the models. Look at that. So you talk about a windshield wiper effect. The models did pretty darn good when you look at the fact that we could be talking about a developing system here on the East Coast and curving up. So, this was 6 days ago. 10 day out, we were looking at this. So, the models did pretty good. Here's another one. Maybe this is the one. I had one that went like 3 million views. It's crazy. That wasn't the one. Man, we were talking about this a long time ago. Look at this one. This is post July 21st. When it was way out here. That was like 9 days ago. Crazy. So I believe in spaghetti models. So back to this. All right. So somebody asked about Miami. All right. What we got to worry about is our system speeding over Hispaniola. The system's so wide that it might not get disrupted as much as a smaller system because the overall circulation is very tight. In fact, let's take a look at that. You can see it up here on a couple of my links. I haven't even looked at these yet. I got so many links I forget that I have them half the time. So your overall circulation band, this one actually zooms in too close. I don't even like this one. It's humongous. So anyway, so it's gonna take more to disrupt our system. So the question is gonna be how good it looks later today, and then what it can do, because the NHC is maxing it out at 70, 70, 70, 70. They're saying that they're being conservative on their strength because I think they're kind of wondering the same thing. Let's wait until it crosses Hispaniola. Let's see if it gets broken apart. Let's see if there's any dry air intrusion. But if there's not, we better tell everybody we're being conservative. And they're at 70. Because they don't want to have an H. Because if you have an H, you go to Jumanji level 10. And there's our buddy Brax. Mike, come back. Where am I? Where'd I go? We got green. We're good. I'm here. Carolina. North Carolina. Well, I always say Carolina because then I'm covered if it hits South Carolina. Casper, that's what I'm thinking of too. Now, would it have time to become a hurricane before South Florida? Yes. So South Florida definitely, East Coast definitely needs to be watching close. I feel like we're watching Matthew all over again. But this thing has the potential, and look at how it speeds up. Bam, bam. That's another sign that this thing is going to get into some sheared conditions as our front comes in. So this is the window of opportunity to develop. If it's going to rapidly intensify or really get going, it's going to have some slow movement over the Bahamas, and it's really going to get going here as it starts to feel that approaching weakness. So whatever's going to be here, it's probably going to be that here as it starts to accelerate northward. So yeah, you need to be watching close in South Florida. There's no H yet. That's good news. 11 o'clock. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if they'd pull the trigger yet on being an H or not. The key is going to be what it looks like when it crosses over Hispaniola. And we got, again, this has been the story of two blobs. We've had a double blob with this sucker from day one. There's another little double blob now getting close to the north side, but their true center is down here still. That's what the hurricane hunters are finding. So it has not crossed through the Mona Passage. The Mona Passage is this little gap, Mona Island, but NHC saying nope, there's the center. But they don't know what it's doing up here because they're not in there. We'll see what kind of winds we got. See if there's any sign of redevelopment up that way. So, you can already see the mountaintops. Look at that. So there's the huge broad structure our system counterclockwise, right? But look what happens. So when you get these counterclockwise winds come across the high mountains of the Dominican Republic and Haiti here, remember the mountains on the western side are a lot higher than the eastern side. But look, where you normally need these winds to come around, you know, they would come around. They can't. They get broke up. So when they talk about this being a game changer, that's why. Look, it's so fascinating. You can see it happening right now. The winds are coming across, hitting the mountain, and they're basically not able to, you know, it just breaks up the disruption. Annette, sorry about that. I should be all right. Deb, we can look at the Heber. Yeah, it basically did. It did go through the Heber box. Sean, Tampa is becoming more and more out of the woods as far as a strong system. It would take this to actually have stayed below. I mean, the only thing Tampa's got left to worry about is if this thing were to continue on below Hispaniola and come up from the backside. But oh, you found a link. Are we back? Thanks, Scott Gibbs. Huh. Now, why isn't that working on mine? Let's see here. I've been waiting for it. I know the DVOR came up. There it is. It came up. So my link's working. They finally got it activated. So here's your microwave core. Good. I'm glad you posted that. Scott Gibbs. Isaiah. Georgia in play. Nicholas, you guys are always in that weird little zone of tucked in. Things are going to be curving. So I think Georgia's stress level is if you had to do stress level by state, Florida and North Carolina would be the most stressed. South Carolina would be second stress, and third stress would be Georgia. Alabama would be like, if you did it by beers, let's say Alabama would be like an old duels. Florida would be Jim Beam, and North Carolina would be Jack. Bahamas would be moonshine because they're right in the path. South Carolina would be like a strong High IPA, and then Georgia would be like a Bud Light seltzer. How's that? Because really the big threat for Georgia is going to be surge more than anything, because the water, you know, we're going to have a rotating system here. Stronger systems will be pushing up surge. So these are things that haven't been talked about yet. But as our system starts to grow, then you'll start hearing things like coastal surge and more. Matter of fact, here, this is our Sierra map. It's already starting to show. As the intensity comes up, you know, it's predicted to be 70 mile an hour right here. But as our intensity comes up, obviously, surge here in Savannah and different areas, Hilton Head, we'll have to start worrying about low-level places that are prone for surge. So it's already showing up. I have to link that. That's the Sierra map. I got it on my site, but so it updates real time. So there's that. All right, cool. Casey, yeah, we can look at real-time movement. Hey, yeah, Patrick, I didn't mean to say, I meant direct landfall. When somebody says Georgia, I'm thinking direct. That's then hopefully now it's catching up and I read your comment. So, you know, and again, typically strongest stuff's on the east side, but as far as surge goes, we saw with Irma, lots of surge into Georgia, Jacksonville, Savannah, Charleston. So, you know, counterclockwise system, we got to worry about surge, the main threat, and how close it obviously comes to you guys. But we're going to have a curve. Now, you know, of course, rainfall, if the Euro is correct and we get a West Coast track over Tampa, it's going to be a rainfall event. Let's look at some rainfall estimates. Somebody wanted to see live, but let's go. I want to look at rainfall because it's, you know, the official word on the size of the system is it's huge, but it looks like it's consolidating a little bit. So I don't think it's as big as it was yesterday, but it is big. I mean, look at this thing. I mean, when I woke up this morning, it was a little ball below Puerto Rico, and now look at it. I mean, it's definitely big. The moisture field's strong too, by the way. It's precipitable water map. It's got a lot of moisture to work with. The ball of water is big. Little dry air in front of it due to that gap between the front coming, but as far as moisture goes, it's pretty hefty ball of moisture. You can see it here on the Bay News 9 precipitable water map. Oh, that's a good link. Oh, he's got it now. Oh my God, Mike Clay, you're my buddy, my hero. Here's the water. So look at this. Do they have it now finally? Oh God, I hope so. I hope so. I'm so badly wanting a map. Well, no, see, it's coastal. Damn it. Well, maybe it'll be better for the states, but I love inland warnings versus just coastal warnings. I hate having coastal warnings and they don't show you county warnings. So it's a good map, though. Look at the timing. This kind of gives you a good idea. 2 o'clock. So I'm still surprised they took Florida out of the cone, or Tampa. Just because the Euro track is the almighty Euro, they just completely threw out the window. And the CMC, the latest Euro has it right here, but it also shows that it's kind of confused. The Euro is like a drunk donkey, and the CMC right there too. So. Euro's like, I think we're going to go out deep sea fishing. Nah, I don't think we're going to come back in. So anyway, hey, Florin, yep, you might be right. I see you on there. You probably think I'm a hyper. That's all right. I'm not hyping. I had to fill my Dunkin' cup. Dunkin'. Nice clean cup today, by the way. Maybe they're a fan. They're like, he got on us yesterday about spilling this coffee cup. And it's cold. Oh my God, it must be 10 o'clock. Hey Dale, yeah, it's still below. So tricky. Isaiah. So it appears, two things. Let me show you real quick, Dale. Somebody else wanted to see emotion, so we can do that. Let me go to, because the DuPage site, we can go a lot of cool frames. I love this College of DuPage. So yes, Dale, it is still quite a bit south of Haiti right now. Let's take a look at your dirty IR. And then we will go back 200 frames, which is a long time ago. And then we'll hit play. And then we'll leave it right here. And we'll talk. Somebody asked me to do the last 200 frames. So what was interesting last night, we had that big blow up right here, boom. And it got pulled to the north. Look at that. In that big, there's a big, so lesson to be learned. Ooh, look at that sucker really blowing up now. So the center is still technically below Haiti. And the hurricane hunters are out there flying, which I have a link on Tropical Tidbits. There's a lot of sites that have links. He likes us, so I support the ones that support us. That's, I try to spread it between everybody. But we like Levi, so we go to his site. But anyway, here's the current fix. Still around 17 degrees, 17 and a half degrees. So still below Haiti. That's what they found. I'm sure they're going to go up here and investigate the big ball. But, pretty impressive. Here's Puerto Rico. This is development through the night. This is yesterday. Little blow up. A little bit pulled to the north. And then the last few frames, look at that. It really is blowing up, man. And that's the concern, is how much development. Now, if we saw, dry air intrusion right now, and we saw, thunderstorm activity not happening and whatnot, then we would say, yeah, it's going to be a tropical storm. But I guarantee that Hurricane Center is watching this very close, and they're saying, if this thing pops out on the other side of Hispaniola, we're going to have to put the old H on our forecast maps. Hey, no laughing over there. There's our girl Shelly. So Shelly's helping us on our Facebook little chat room. We got what do they call them things now? Little units. Hey Brenda, yeah, College of DuPage, great great satellite page. I love them to death. Oh my God, they got the best satellite page as far as high resolution stuff goes. Hey Marcus, tag me in a Twitter post. New mid-level found. Let's take a look. Let's look at our good old Null School site first off. Let's see. I believe in this site, so let's take a look at the current 500 and see what they say. So there you go. Is that what you're saying right there somewhere? So here's your 500 millibar, really disrupted. So let's go to Twitter. Somebody tagged me. So when I was younger, tagging, I used to get excited about getting tagged in different ways. Now I get excited when I get tagged on Twitter. Yeah, I saw Levi's post. Take a look at this. Hey, that must be you. Elemental Soul. Thank you. Yeah, let's take a look. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, I read that earlier. So yeah, there's signs that it could be reforming quick. Everybody doesn't know what's going on, so I'm in good company. Hey Robin, you're going to Fort Wilderness. Who's calling me that number? I've seen that number before. Let me see. That's my bank. Oh God, am I in trouble? I gotta check this one. This might be 2 seconds here. What do we got? Oh, it's Dimmitt Chevrolet. What the hell do they want? I ordered something probably. I always Google phone numbers when I get them. I don't answer. I Google. Let's see what else is going. Ashley, yeah, big question. Everybody's watching, wondering the same thing. Good stuff here. Eric Webb just posted too. So, the upper steering currents aren't going to change depending on where our system comes out at. The only really effect a relocation would be more opportunity for this to start to strengthen quicker, because a lot of the intensity was planning on this thing dying a little bit, short-term death over Hispaniola. So a center relocation is just going to allow this thing to really start taking off a little better, quicker, and shift the tracks east a tick. Hey Mirtha, there you go. I'm reading stuff now. Hey, hi from Oklahoma. Beverly, what are you doing? You're the home of tornadoes out there. We have 2 weeks to talk about a hurricane. You guys have 10 seconds to talk about tornadoes. There's our buddy Whitney. Lobster. Oh my God, you're catching lobster, cheese and crackers. Yeah, I bet it's. Just make sure you get all your lobster chasing done before Friday afternoon. Andrew, Saturday, yeah. Sunday, I don't know. Remember, I mean, we're going to look at rain totals for the Euro. The Euro and CMC in the UK are showing this thing a little more into Florida. So you can't go all in yet on an East Coast track. So we're going to look at rainfall totals with the Euro if the Euro was correct. If the Euro was correct, here's how some of the rain would look as it comes in from the south. So you can see it. Pockets of rain, big time in Central Florida. This is Sunday, so realistically Saturday, your best bet, other than maybe the south part of Florida, is Saturday is obviously a nice day. Sunday the rains definitely come in. Let's look at total precip though for the week. If the Euro is correct, this is kind of what it would think. Obviously West Coast coming back out, heaviest to the east side, but pockets of rain. Obviously, this is through the weekend, so we could have, more into Sunday, Monday, but, that's what the Euro is saying. If the GFS is right, and it's way off the coast, check this out. I bet you we don't get anything. Look at that. So vote for the GFS if you had weekend plans in Florida, because obviously the east side of the system is going to be the most action-packed as far as rains and winds. So there's two conflicting setups for Florida, but I'm leaning toward the Euro being wrong. How do you get where you were with the rain? What's that, Jenna? It's on Weather Model site. Hurricane Hunters just found 64 knot winds. I believe it. Coastal Virginia, prepare. Samantha. Well, yeah, if Outer Banks storms and Carolina storms have affected you before, as far as coastal, we're going to get a northeast turn eventually because we got these weaknesses coming down. So we're going northwest, northeast. So I would be on the same alert level in Virginia as South Carolina. I should do a funny map. I'll draw it when we're done with alcohol alert levels. Amy, I'm only leaning to the Euro being wrong is because all the majority of the Euro ensembles are saying a stronger East Coast system. And just simply this rebuilding of the possible on the other side of Hispaniola is going to bump the models a little more north. And then we already have we have more model support against the Euro. And this is where you start to go with model trends. I mean, we're 3-4 days away, and you can't go against the models. I mean, they've done the classic windshield wiper effect. I showed 10 days ago, and they're right back to where they pretty much started 10 days ago. So they've done a good job. But Miami, there's a chance this thing could be a hurricane coming right at you. There's a chance. I wouldn't say there's a chance of a hurricane in Panama. So, I think it'd be irresponsible to tell anybody from the Keys all the way up to Carolina coast, that this thing could develop into something strong, and the more time over water, it could continue to develop on approach to the Carolinas. So anyway, yeah, Tiffany, I don't know. I have a feeling that the West Coast is going to get. The only thing the West Coast is going to get would be rain. This is the east. All storms are eastern packed, and plus we got shear coming in because we have this front, so it's going to be even more sheared than normal because of the approaching front that's going to actually push it to sea. So. Yeah. So anyway, all right. So Tampa, Fort Myers, just at this point, I don't see any more than rain. Based on this, might be no rain. I don't know why the GFS. I think the GF is backed up to the west, so we're starting to see that East Coast Florida thing. But Matt, yeah, I think it's been. Everybody's so quick to jump on the Euro that the Euro this year has been not that great. So, John, correct. The mighty Gulfstream has always built these things. The hot water of the Caribbean are warming up. I mean, here's our heat potential map. So there's definitely hot water pockets here already by the Bahamas. These are water temperatures you normally see later in August. So this ocean heat potential map indicates the water temperatures are a little warmer than normal. We show that a lot with the anomaly maps. Your NASA satellite anomaly map shows anything above white is above normal, so that water temperatures are above normal. The Barron index here that shows potentials for strength is showing the favorable environment north of the Bahamas, and so it's actually in a little unfavorable area right now with some wind shear, but all this is expected to be favorable as far as support goes for even anything more. There's a couple links to Barron Hurricane Index that I have, And then this graphics isn't coming up. I'm online. Baron Index. Okay, so we got current. This is kind of what the Bay News 9 goes off of. But there's your current hurricane. So if we go fast forward into 48 hours, a little less, there's that shear coming in. So, and it comes back. So it definitely could be looking at a hurricane. Put it that way. Especially the less time it stays over land. So yeah, Shelly, that's something I do not know. Metal detecting. Was that Brax? Yeah, Olivia, I would definitely be watching close in South Carolina. David, we need a black cherry. If you want to kick it up a notch, if you got a buddy that thinks that they're weak, this is what you do, right? So you have your buddy come over, and you get a couple of your favorite tumbler glasses, you know. So you pour it in there, and you dump about half of it full of vodka, and you won't taste the vodka. So when he tells you that they're wussy drinks, after a couple of them, he'll be like, "Oh, these are the greatest things ever." Cat 1, Julie, yeah, I believe it. You know, if you just read the NHC wording, they're saying they're conservative at 70. So they're worried that this thing's going to pop on the other side of Hispaniola and not be torn apart. And if you look at the current, this is very doom looking. Look at that. This is on the Weather Channel. I mean, that's like, you talk about blob. So even though the center's down here, look at that, all this convection's going right through that little gap. But definitely firing more every hour that I see. Started late last night. We saw a little bubble of white, but it's just firing away. So, and unfortunately, our, western part of Puerto Rico definitely getting hammered with rains right now, and thunder already reports a bunch of power outages in Puerto Rico and flooding. So thoughts are with them right now. Looks like things are clearing out for the Virgin Islands. Things are definitely getting heated up in Haiti here. And then as we go towards Bahamas. So there's that. All right, let's see anything else we could talk about. West coast of Florida is getting clearer and clearer. David Allen guy, it might be Abby. Well, just by looking at this, I think that we are on pace for a hurricane, basically because we've seen plenty of storms in the Caribbean, clear the islands here and maintain structure. So yeah, I don't see how it can't be won by looking at it clearing Hispaniola possibly. Yeah, you never thought the NAM model would be one that we actually looked at, right? So we're going to have a new NHC update pretty soon. I got a lot of stuff to talk about. That's good, Jesse. Maryland, I don't believe so. You might get the skirts of it. East Coast, Cameron, you're going to be watching very close. We'll just leave it on the spaghetti models when we think out loud. But like I said, stronger system. It's going to skirt close to Florida. There's still enough models bringing it, but look at the trend. A few more over here. The 12Z models will be probably, you could start betting on things today. A lot of hurricane data today. 12Z models will be coming out this afternoon. We'll start to see if this trend develops even more that we see at East Coast track. And just have to wait and see. So, leave us offshore. What's that? Seeing the trough opening up, it's going to leave it offshore. Oh, I don't know. Could go out to sea. Bobby, yeah, who would have thought, right? That we're looking at the NAM or the NAM model. Is it running now? Why would it be running now? I didn't even know it runs now. I thought it runs. Does it run early? Yeah, it is running now. 12Z. Probably only 35 hours though. The NAM model, there you go. You start to see it down here, 996. So these mesoscale models, like sometimes these mesoscale models do better on sloppier systems. And there's your NAM closing in on South Florida. So, you know, just another model to look at. Cool. All right, well, that's it. I hope it made sense. Everybody's kind of having to watch this in real time. That's really the only advice I would give you is, you know, NHC is golden. They're the ones, obviously, you need to look at first. Look at the 3-day cone. That's very confident. Their 3-day cone is pretty usually spot on. Remember, anybody in that 3-day cone, that's where the center line can go. It's not focused on the center. If you, I'm just frozen there for a minute. Anybody in that cone can get the center. So they're not taking West Florida out of the picture yet. And we're going to have a new track at 11 o'clock. We'll see if they, I don't know what they'll do. I can't see a big change. Other than the possibility of an H. The beer map, Rhonda. Maybe I'll do that. Make me a note. I should note things that I wanted to talk about. So what was I going to talk about? I wanted to talk about, man, we came up with some important things. Okay, I need to bring up the surge map because that's something new. I think I need to bring up more North Carolina, and the beer map I'll do. These are things that I popped in my head while we were doing this. Oh, and then the rain map for Florida because, all right, so the rain map of Florida is interesting. Track to the west, a lot. Track to the east, nothing. So I need to put that out there so people don't go cancel all their plans. That would be more for like Peninsula. The other thing, of course, North Carolina, I want to bring out the models of this thing strengthening going up into the Carolinas is a possibility that they need to be watching for. And then the surge map, something that is starting to become more live. And what's happening now? So I'll post all that stuff. So cool. All right, listen. So we'll do it. Yeah, Winfield map. Winfield map's on there. I added it to the website. It's on the app too. There's the Winfield map. So there's that. All right. So we'll be on live tonight, no doubt, 8 o'clock. Again, don't worry about this little guy. None of the models are showing anything with it. So I think we only have to worry about Isaiah. Hey, thanks, Shelly. There you go, Jennifer. Tell them the drunk donkey sent you. That's good, Betsy. Your mom's in Puerto Rico. Okay. There you go, Sandra. Sounds like a good one. Yeah, 8 p.m. will be tonight. Look at this big old hard turn, though. Look at that. Boom, boom. That's a classic front to the rescue and shooting it. Hopefully it shoots it off to sea. Too soon to get too excited yet. In the meantime, we're going to have to just watch this constant firing up and see what it can do, what the Hurricanes find. See if they got a new fix yet. Nope, not yet. Now there's the big winds. They're going up here to check out. Look at those wind barbs. Holy cow. That's some strong winds. Look at that. Purple barbs. So we could be, definitely we'll see what kind of winds they got, but we could be, they might bump this thing up even earlier. So So NHC's in a tough spot because they don't know what it's going to look like after Hispaniola. If it pops across quick, then they're going to have to start putting H's on their 11 o'clock map. We'll see. Elizabeth is going ABC for bourbon. Cool. East Coast winds, Dylan. If it hits Bahamas, just remember this. Most of the heaviest winds are always to the north and to the east. So we've seen a lot of storms skirt the coast of Florida and very little impacts hit Florida. So I don't see this storm being any different as far as the winds go. You can see it on the wind map. Most of the winds are well to the north and the east. So, you know, this all depends on how close it gets to Florida. It's deceiving because where the National Hurricane Center says tropical storm force winds extend out 400 miles. Look at this. Tropical storm force winds extend out 415 miles. That's deceiving because it's this way. It's not that way. So it might only extend out 30 miles southeast. So it's deceiving. That's a very deceiving point. In fact, I'm going to mention that. So really, that's irrelevant for down here because 415 miles that way, not that way. So if it came in a little, lower, obviously, but if all the winds extend out that way. So it's a cool number, or it's neat to hear it, but in reality, it's only really going to be a big deal for the Bahamas if it stays down this way. Cool. All right, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. All right, so we're going to watch it real time today, right? We'll see what it does. And, hey, man, I mean, we'll have to see. We'll have to see if there's any H's on the 11 o'clock advisory. I don't see a big track change coming yet. Maybe a little less than, maybe they might even take less of the Florida West Coast out of it, but we'll see. All right, I'll be here all day. Thanks for all you supporters. I got a lot of new supporters. T-shirt sales have been awesome. Appreciate that. Nobody buys a T-shirt when there's no tropics, so make sure you check out the store. I'll do a share later, but all kinds of cool stuff up here. Mike's Weather Page store, and Facebook supporters. You guys rock. So thank you. We'll see you tonight. Be good. Time for a heat up of my coffee. Bye.